Does depth of trance matter in hypnosis? A lot of hypnotists are obsessed with the hypnotic induction, and that's great. And then we do deepeners typically. So does it matter how deep someone is in hypnosis in order to effect good change work to help people? That's what we're going to talk about. I'm here with Mike Mandel, our 5,000-year-old wizard, the head of the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. Kind of an awesome guy. What do you think about this topic?
It's a great topic because trance depth does matter depending on what you're planning on doing. And we hear over and over again, oh, you only need a light trance to affect all sorts of changes. True, you can do millions of things with just a light trance, but it's our experience that the people who consistently say that are the ones who can only get you into a light trance, and it becomes a bit of a way of fudging the issue. We think you should always aim for a somnambulistic trance, which is a deep trance, unless there's some specific reason to just do something simple and light, because they do not give you the same results.
Right, and when we say somnambulistic trance, that means somnambulism, not Samuelism, and not socialism.
Certainly not socialism.
All right.
Well, this goes back to Marquis de Pisaguro, who worked with Victor Race, and he said he looked like a sleepwalker, a somnambulist, and that's what the term comes from. Now, light trance, you can do all kinds of things with light trance. This is true. Sports performance, you can encourage people in a light trance to swim better, swim faster, whatever. You can give any kind of continuance of suggestion. So if the person needs to feel relaxed and comfortable in that trance, you can make them relaxed and comfortable and say, when you awaken, you bring all those good feelings with you. That will work in a light trance too.
Right. And in fact, metaphors work through light trance. Metaphors, when you tell somebody a story, or even if, let's say, they're watching a movie, because that's basically them watching the story on the screen, those create light trances.
Yes, and the metaphor is creating the light trance itself. Also, things surprisingly, you can use a light trance for pain management, pain relief. It's very good for that, including dealing with burns so they do not become worse. You can stop a burn from expanding and spreading on the body, getting larger or bubbling up through a light trance. But the thing is, any positive suggestions you're giving too, we're back to simple positive suggestions, can be done in a waking state as well as a light trance. So there are a realm of things you can do here, things without trauma base. And of course, idiomotor work, finger signals, excellent with a light trance because we do it all the time.
What about guided imagery, taking people through a guided imagination of a scene of transitions? Sure. A lot of times I would say, depending on what they're working on, a light trance will work very well for that.
Exceptionally well. But on the other end of the spectrum, we have the somnambulism, the deeper trance, which in the words of the late, great Jerry Kine, is the working state of hypnosis. And for once, he and I do completely agree on that.
Right.
The working state means you can do anything you need to do in hypnosis with somnambulism, with maybe the exception of a couple of things that you need the Esdale state. So your critical faculty is way offline and is really permeable in a somnambulistic trance. So you can talk to the subject. They can talk to you without disturbing the trance.
What's the critical faculty?
It's the guardian at the gate. I like to think of it as a castle, and inside you got the guys looking through the little narrow windows, and the inside looking out so they can fire arrows at whatever's approaching, and they're all locked in secure. But when the critical faculty's out of the way, the drawbridge comes down, and everybody can get into the castle.
Ideas, change beliefs, overcoming
huge
thing that was limiting you. Things that were basically blocking stuff from getting, well, critical faculty blocks stuff from getting into your unconscious. It acts like a filter. It acts
like filter, guardian at the gate, the doorman in a bar, lots of different models. But the great thing too about somnambulistic trance is you can create amnesia very, very easily with it. If you don't, the person messing with stuff that you brought out of their unconscious mind, or you'll maybe 40, 50% of the time you'll get spontaneous amnesia anyway, or time distortion. These are naturally occurring things with somnambulism. But here's the main thing about the somnambulistic trance. Whereas the light trance, this superficial trance, is kind of easy to jostle you out of. It's more like daydreaming in some cases, and you can come out of it quite simply and easily. In a somnambulistic trance, the trance is stable and robust. You're not going to suddenly just pop out of it because somebody hears the doorbell and says, oh, who's that?
Right. And in fact, that when you were doing stage hypnosis, you're cascading people through different layers, and the best subjects, of course, the ones who stay on stage, are somnambulists. They are, of course, they are in a somnambulistic state, even though they seem wide awake at parts where they're doing funny things. We, by the way, will link to it here, maybe with one of those cards that pops up. We have a whole series on the director's cut of one of Mike's stage hypnosis shows that guides you through how this happens. So that's kind of fun to watch because you're getting the commentary. But that's another example. It's not just in the therapy room. It's used in stage hypnosis all the time.
It's the usefulness of the deep trance. And if you're doing regression work, taking people to regression to cause for any sort of traumatic event, you do need somnambulism to do that. Otherwise, you're just getting hypermnesia, enhanced memory.
All right. And we have a full playlist also on how to do regression to cause, the classical way of doing that. And of course, somnambulism is going to make that really work. So you might want to check that out. We'll put another card up there for you to click if you want to watch that playlist. Anything else?
Let's look at recommendations here. So what this means, since we see the difference between working with a somnambulistic state and working with a superficial trance, here's the recommendations we offer. Always aim for the somnambulistic trance. Why not aim for it? Because it's the deeper trance, you'll get the better response. Also, use deepeners routinely when you're doing hypnosis, especially in the early days. Presume that you can get them further than you have and do 1 or 2 deepeners to get them closer to that trance state.
And we teach tons of these in the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. We probably have YouTube videos on this as well. They're very easy to do. They only take, a couple of minutes each max, and you can cascade a few of them. So deepening the trance just means running people through an exercise where they imagine that they're actually going deeper into trance after the induction.
For sure, or fractionating or whatever. And the other thing is learn to calibrate the external trance indicators from your subject, the ETIs, meaning notice that when you see their face flushing or their blink reflex stops or their lower lip seems larger, all of these things show you that you're getting a profound result. When you learn to see it, you'll throw the hypnotic depth scales out the window because you will not need them.
Awesome. Anything else before we wrap up the video?
Well, I can't think of anything.
All
I'm
right,
in such a deep trance.
If this helped you, leave us a comment, leave us a like, subscribe to the channel. But more importantly, if you think this can help somebody else who you know in the hypnosis space, copy the link to this video, share it with them, let them know about this stuff, because hypnosis is awesome, hypnosis is easy, and we can help you get to the next level in the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. You'll find a link in the description under this video. We hope you join us, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks once again,
and good night.